We had the issue of Cuban government opening up its doors to the United States, which has all sorts of repercussions for our country. And yet, our government simply said, oh, we're going to be up to the challenge. This is not a challenge. Well, it seems odd, Mr. Speaker, that our neighbors opposite in Florida regard this as a major challenge to their tourist industry. And yet, somehow, we seem to have done nothing to address it, and yet we seem to think that we've got it under control. Yet here they are in Florida. Now they're worrying about the beaches that they've got over there. They're worrying about the sand on the beaches, that they don't compare with the beautiful beaches in Florida, in Cuba. In fact, there was an article there in the Miami Herald today where they make reference to the quality of sand in Florida. They talk about, we're going to look to the quality of the sand. This is the mayor of Miami. We end up buying white Bahamian sand to make Miami Beach as attractive as possible. We're going to do that. Using Bahamian sand may be pricey, Leatherman said, like Fisher Island, shipped in sand from the Bahamas for its exclusive beaches. That's super white sand, and sand that's going to be even better than in Cuba, he said. That's finer and whiter sand than what's on Miami Beach for sure. In an interview, Jimenez, the mayor, said that Miami-Dade is exploring...
Member for Montague, you're confusing me now. You're confusing me because I don't see the relation between this and the FATCA bill. So help the chair.
Dealing with issues that facing this country, Mr. Speaker, like dealing with this bill that is before us, like dealing with the question of the opening up of Cuba. These are all issues that this government needs to address, and they seem to have put their head in the sand and failed to address it.
They don't want to hear about it. They don't want to deal with it.
Member, you've invited much reaction already. Member for Fox Hill.
I only want to point out that the United States is in the unique position of having shut themselves out from relations with Cuba. We've had relations with Cuba all along. So there is no reason for any particular alarm. The fact is we've been working on both a multilateral and a bilateral basis with Cuba on cooperation on tourism, in agriculture, in the sciences, in education, for some period of time. So, and including the administration that served before us. So not sure what point is being made by that.
Thank you, honourable member. Member
Very
for
well,
Montague.
Mr. Speaker, I'm glad to hear that some attempt has been made to address that particular issue, because it is one of the very serious things that I feel need to be addressed by this country. Now, if government are dealing with it, then no doubt in short order we will hear what steps they propose taking. But up to this point, they simply have said, we're up to the challenge. Well, we're up to the challenge, but we don't see any evidence of being up to the challenge.
Other than that,
Member for Fox Hill.
you can go through the history of all of the statements that have been made since we've been in office and the agreements that have been signed with the Cuban government on a whole matter of matters, both bilateral and through the CARICOM context, on cooperation with Cuba, on matters including tourism, education, the sciences, agriculture. They're all there. One of the reasons why we were saying that relations had to be good with Cuba, our neighbors, and that the U.S. was not in a good position with regard to this is because we knew that as soon as the United States decided to change its mind on something, there was going to be a tidal wave. And the best thing to do was to be proactive and to be prepared. And so we were.
And in front of that wave.
That was the reason. The side opposite said, oh, what are you opening an embassy in Cuba for? What do you think we opened it for? So that we're on the ground there before they got there.
That's right.
Thank you, honourable member.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I hope that the government has more success in dealing with those negotiations than they did with the Dominican government. When they told us as soon as they came to office, they had that arrangement worked out that the poachers would be prevented from coming here, and now we've got more poachers than ever.
Today. We're not going to talk about poachers today, member.
We're talking about, I'm addressing an issue that this member seems to feel that we're supposed to accept, that if they have open negotiations with Cuba, that everything's going to be all right.
Member, take your seat. Member for Foxhill.
No promise was made that poachers would stop coming to the Bahamas. We never made any such promise. We never made any such promise. The fact is, in all of these matters, we tried to we tried to manage the issues which face the country. Now, we said that there were two alternatives. You could go to war with the Dominican Republic. You think we could do that? No. No. So you have to try diplomacy to manage the issue as our friends and neighbors. And we went and spoke to them. The government said, from that side of goodwill, we will cooperate with you to try and manage the issue. And that's what they did. Now, we have a defense force. There are people that are going to continue to break the law. Just recently, there were 18 people interdicted for poaching in our waters. It doesn't mean the issue is going to stop, but we have a framework to manage the problem. That's what we do.
Thank you, Honourable Member.